this was probably a game where on paper we probably should have come and got a win. But I think we have been trying to get a little bit of a monkey off our back in some respects. A, that's getting a win here at all in our time in the Premiership, and B, getting our first away win in the Premiership of the season. And I think there was maybe a little bit of effect from that, a little bit of an effect that we haven't played virtually any of these players who started today in the LV Cup period, through choice of trying to freshen them up. And I think we probably saw that for the first 15 minutes. Then you probably saw them finding their lungs again for the next 10 minutes and just making some shaky decisions. And then finally, the game became a grind, which is kind of what we didn't want it to be. But I'm not saying we got everything right today. I think management-wise, we made a few calls on how much territory we wanted to play at different times that maybe unsettled the players a little bit. And then second half, it took us a little bit of a while to get the balance right. When we played with good balance today between our kind of direct attacking game and kind of hitting space, kicking wise when it was there, we were very good. And I think the first 20 minutes showed that perfectly. Gareth was prodding the corners, creating pressure line-outs, pressure moments. We were then able to carry back attacking kicks rather than being on the back foot. And when we were getting that balance, we looked very, very dangerous. But the reality was, we then kind of, what I talk about with our players, we tend to drop into play around teams, and we slowly started to think that we could pass the ball along a 5-man line and someone on the end is going to run around people, and it just doesn't work like that. And once we started doing that, we put ourselves under pressure. But we always looked dangerous when we were direct and making good decisions on our changes of direction, and that kind of came good for us in the end, and controlled the last period of the game.
You've been losing games like that when you're thinking of them well. Obviously, you've got to lead.
Yes. Yeah. And it's something.
Yeah,
it's something we've got to deal with. Listen, the truth is, I can sit here and lament about Exeter that we get a bit of a lead, then we get loose, and how many times you see happen right across the Premiership. What you do is, when it's happening to you and you're the team on the comeback, you suddenly go, oh, look at us, we started getting everything right. And the reality is, if you go 20 points down, the opposition are probably doing something that suddenly let you slip back in. And I think that's what we did today. We started playing in a slightly different way, a slightly looser way. I can remember 3 or 4 occasions where we passed the ball without running forward along the line to an isolated guy on the end who gets turned over. Bang, you lose a huge amount of pitch position, and we did that 3 or 4 times just after we got that good lead. But at the same time, London Irish, they were tough, they were dogged out there in difficult conditions. As I said, they've had to make a number of changes with international call-ups. They're going to be tough when they get all those guys back. For me, it's 4 very important points on the road. Keeps us at the end of the table we want to be, and keeps things very interesting for us. Okay.